I really like that I can provide real estate agents a way of staging that is really nice for their time and money. It's a more convenient way of staging. So that's my favorite part about virtual design.
Okay guys, so today we have Alexa and we are talking all about virtual home staging. What is virtual home staging? Should you get virtual home staging? What to look for in a virtual home stager? Alexa's going to give us all of that knowledge right now. Alexa, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick though.
Hi, Brian. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited for our conversation today. So, hi, everyone. My name is Alexa Jorgenson, and I am a senior design associate for Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. I am also a student ambassador for QC Design School, and I also do referral real estate. I also just started my own virtual staging company this year called AJ Real Estate Designs.
Awesome. Yeah, it's like such a new thing, virtual home staging, I feel like. Or maybe not new for me, but in terms of like, especially with like how things have progressed in the world in 2021, going into 2022 at the time of this recording. Yeah, virtual home staging I feel like is more of a thing, but let's dive into it. Like, what is a virtual home stager?
Yeah, so a virtual home stager is somebody who can stage a room online, and it saves real estate agents time and money. It's very convenient for them, so they don't have to have all the furniture, or they don't have to have a staging company come and stage their house all day. So with that, you can really put the furniture all together in the room online. And it's simple too, because agents will just send a picture of the room and then you can just place furniture exactly where it's needed. You can also do many different things with the same room, like you can make it an office or maybe a bedroom or another kind of living room. So it's a really versatile function.
Yes, so that was a great explanation, I think, for the viewers out there. You guys watching, we'll also be throwing in some visuals, so stick around. Virtual home staging, now that we kind of know what it is, like how does it work? Why, if I'm thinking about, selling my house or getting my house virtually staged, like walk me through a little bit of the process for that.
Yeah, so a lot of buyers will start out online with looking at potential listings. We all have access to Zillow, Realtor.com, things like that out there. So with that, if people are seeing a house online and there's a lot of empty rooms, it's not as exciting and it's hard to kind of visualize yourself in these empty rooms and how to exactly furnish them. So with that, virtual staging is great because then you can really kind of see what you can do with the space there. So it's really good if you're going into the home in person and online, because you can just get a better idea for what it is.
Okay, that is so interesting what you said. So I've watched a lot of YouTube videos out there for you guys, or for the people, and that's one of the ladies, she said a lot of people can't imagine themselves in an empty house, which is so funny because like we as humans are so like a lack of furniture, like, oh, I don't think the house is good anymore, kind of a thing. I don't know if we've just become lazy in our society, or if we just like don't have the imagination to see ourselves to paint the room how we would like it, but we need someone to help us along the way. It's just like, it's really interesting, like for like, so that's where a virtual home stager kind of comes in and they're able to help along. Like how like what's your experience with that?
Absolutely. So my experience with that is just seeing so many homes on Zillow. You can really search, for example, any different properties in any different cities. And when you come across one where the photos are not as appealing, it's so easy to just kind of skip over it and go to another house. So with that, it really is kind of a competition out there. You want your house to stand out against other houses. You want it to be sold. And stats show too that houses sell faster that are staged. And with the pandemic, so many people are online right now and seeing houses that way. So you really want it to stand out online to all those potential clients. So my experience is that staging has really, really helped get homes to sell faster.
Yeah, it's like, it makes sense. Like, yeah, like a house that looks nicer will, get more money for it, kind of a thing. But I don't know why, maybe we as consumers, it's like, but I don't want, of course, like no one wants to pay for the home staging and stuff like that. Or it's like, I guess maybe like matching that dollar amount, like, oh, like I put money into this staging and I'm able to get like this much more for my house and stuff. But yeah, it's such an interesting concept. But let's move on. Let's in terms of like with open houses, so you have your house virtually staged, like you're advertising online, here's kind of like, here's the house, and well, most people, I'm assuming they can see like, oh, this is virtually staged, kind of a thing. But how does that typically go when people show up to open houses?
Yes, so a big disclaimer that I give to real estate agents is that the client to get in there and be disappointed or think they're somewhere else potentially. So with that, the idea is for them to be standing in the home. They can pull up the listing easily on their smartphone and they can kind of see what that room would look like with real furniture in it. So imagine you're standing in this home and it's just empty and you don't know exactly what to do with this space. You pull up that listing and you can see, oh, there's a sofa here, there's an entertainment console here. I can imagine myself during the holidays with my family doing this in this room. And so it's really easy to kind of better imagine yourself in the space. And with that, I like to identify kind of the target market for the home. And so I'll better understand what buyers are looking for to see exactly how they'll use that space. So with that, I think it's really easy for people to get a better idea of the home and imagine themselves living there.
I think, yeah, with expectations, just as long as people know, it's like, hey, like the furniture isn't there in real life, but it's there to help you. I think that's a good disclaimer to let people know. Most definitely. Does anyone ever get mad? Or I'm not sure if you know, or like I can imagine some people being like, who might be just like thrown off guard, like completely, because they thought the furniture was really there. What's like, I don't know if you know, or like tell any stories, or what's like, what is that like?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen people become shocked over the fact that it's actually an empty room. So it's really easy to get shocked too because there's so many homes out there and if you're looking at even just 3 houses in a day, it can get kind of confusing on which one is which. So I've definitely seen people go, "Oh, I knew there was a table there. Where did that table go?" And it's funny because it really will throw people off a little bit, but it's just to help people with kind of seeing an option of how to use the room, and they don't have to do the room exactly as they see it. It's just kind of an idea. It paints a better picture than just an empty space with just like neutral walls and carpeting. So
Hmm.
it really brings the home to life.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and show a photo like of an empty house that you gave us, and then like a house that you staged. So just you guys as the viewers, you can kind of see like the difference and kind of like what we're talking about. Okay, Alexa, so we're having a look at some virtual home staging photos. Tell me, like, describe what are we looking at and stuff.
Yes, so this here, these are two different living rooms shown here, and they have completely different styles. The one on top is more of a contemporary style with the more squared arms, the shorter legs, the colors as well. With that, this appeals to more of kind of in a younger generation, like a contemporary look. And then the one below, it's more of a traditional look with more rounded arms. It has the big kind of bases on the tables as well, a big ornate rug. This will appeal to people who more so like a traditional style, more so a bit of an older generation. But again, design is very subjective, so each person can have their own individual taste. And the best part about this, I would say, is that there's no right answer. You can do kind of anything you want with the designs, and everybody is so different with what they like. And another big thing about this is actually the same room. So with virtual staging, you can do 2 different designs for the same exact room, and you don't have to move all the furniture around or pay for extra furniture or store extra furniture. So it's amazing how you can really do so many different things with just one space.
And you can appeal to different buyers. Like,
Exactly.
I was like, oh, that's the part where I was mind blown. I had no idea. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known this is the same. This was the same room.
Exactly. And you can do different things with this room too. If, for example, home offices are huge right now, so many people are working from home. So you can show what this room would look like as an office, not just a living room. Or another thing is gyms too. The gyms were closed during the pandemic, so a lot of people are working out at home. You can make this even like a little exercise room. So you can show what the same room would be in different forms with virtual staging, and it's all very simple to do. Much simpler than moving furniture around, at least.
Right, right. Yeah, or like when people do open houses, sometimes they say, "Oh, the previous owners use this as an office," and then the new owners or potential owners are like, "We don't need an office," or we don't have any kids, or whatever. So you can like interchange things. It seems like.
Absolutely, and knowing the target market and who is buying in the area will really help you put out the right designs too.
That's so cool. Ah, that's sweet. Okay, cool. So if people want to get more of this to see what like more of what you do, they can reach out to you. So I'll let them. But just as a sneak peek, guys, kind of like a little bit what that could look like. That's really interesting. Okay, so I can imagine this progressing in the future, where like you go through a house and you have someone virtually stage it, and you put on glasses or something, and you're able to see like the house and the room and stuff. Yeah, I was just thinking that was just a random thought right now. But a car.
Yeah, virtual reality is really becoming a big thing. I could definitely see that coming into virtual staging and the whole house buying process too.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Okay, so like if I'm looking for something about selling my house, or my agent is, I'm hiring an agent to do my house, and I'm like, I want virtual home staging. I want my agent to get a virtual home stager. What should I tell my local agent, or if they don't have somebody already, or yeah, so what should we look for in a virtual home stager, I guess is my question.
Yeah, so a virtual home stager should have a few different qualities. First of all, I think a virtual home stager should have real staging experience. If you know what it's like to stage a house and to have all the furniture, have to rent it all out, you know how much time it takes and how expensive it can be. So having someone who has already staged homes before is really important. I think also someone who understands the target market is ideal too, because for example, you don't want your virtual stager to make a traditional room with big rounded arms and big ornate details in the furniture. For families who are probably younger, who are more into modern furniture, that won't be as appealing for them. So you want them to know design well, and you want them to know the target market. You also want someone who knows a lot about real estate and who maybe even has their real estate license, so that way they know exactly how the whole process goes. I think it's just really important to have somebody who knows business, real estate, and interior design all together, and who of course knows how to use technology too.
Yeah, hence the virtual part. Okay, that sounds fair. Like they understand, because real estate, it's its own thing. Like selling a house is completely different from anything else anyone will ever sell in their life. It is like this emotional like roller coaster for a lot of people, because they're selling like something that is super close to their heart and stuff. So for sure, I think that's a good tip. Like they know the market and stuff. That's interesting. Just to kind of like wrap things up, what are some things like you really enjoy about home staging and virtual home staging?
So I don't think I mentioned before that I have certifications from an international design school online, and I also have my real estate license and business degree. So with that, I can combine everything that I'm trained in and know well in order to give a really good service to real estate agents. And I also really like how I can connect with agents from all over the place. Being virtual, you can really find people who live anywhere. You don't have to just stick to your own market. So I really like that I can provide real estate agents a way of staging that is really nice for their time and money. It's a more convenient way of staging. So that's my favorite part about virtual design.
Oh, that's great. Okay. And so for people who we want to reach out to you to ask more questions, pick your brain a little more, please guys put it in the comments, but also they can reach out to you directly. We'll have your contact information pop up on the screen. So, but what's the best way for typically to reach out to you?
Yeah, the best way would be email. I also have my page with all my designs on Instagram if you want to check out all of those. That's a great way to reach out as well. So yeah, I'll leave my information here for you.
Awesome. Sweet. Awesome, Alexa. Well, thank you for answering those questions on home staging. Yeah, if you guys out there thinking about getting your home staged, definitely do more research. I think it's an interesting, super concept, and only you can decide for your own house if that's the way to go. And if you're working with a real estate professional, or if you are one yourself, then you guys can kind of decide on that and stuff. But I think that's it for today. Thank you so much, Alexa, for sharing with us that knowledge. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian. I'm happy to explain and talk about virtual design, virtual staging. Thank
Sweet.
you.
All right, cool. Till next time.